好，真佛中，美国西雅图雷藏市同修莲花童子本尊法与会大众恭敬合掌，恭迎无上法王圣尊莲生活佛，与会大众唱诵莲花童子心咒。
We are now welcoming our lineage root guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng, to enter into the temple hall. Let us join our palms to reference and recite the root guru mantra.
我们一起问候师尊好，师母好，大家好。顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善引，二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善引，三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善引，四平等一起手。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
We welcome our lineage root guru to enter into the temple hall and ascend to the Dharma throne.
师母莲香上师，请上座。长老仁波切诸位上师，请上座。
Now we are inviting Simu to please take the
教授师
seats.
法师，请上座。讲
And we're
师、助教、贵
inviting
宾，
all
我
the
们善信
Rinpoches,
大德，
elders,
请就座。
Dharma masters, venerables, and all participants to please be seated.
今晚的贵宾，欢迎廖东洲大使及夫
Our
人朱
guest of
迪师
honors
姐。
tonight is Ambassador Daniel Liao and Madam Dharma Sister Judy.
依照雷藏寺往常的惯例，请第一次来或很久没有来参加同事
According
的
to the
同门，请
custom
站
at
起来
the
自我介
Seattle
绍
Temple,
您的法号和
we are
来自的国
inviting
家
any
及
of
道
you
场。
who's
我
here for
们
the
先
very
从
first
龙边
time
开始。
or have not
龙
been
边
here
有
for
要
a very
做
long
自我
time to
介绍的
please
吗？
stand up and introduce yourself. You may say where you came from.
师尊好，师母好，大家好。弟子莲花明香来自新加坡。
We came from
师尊
Singapore.
好，大家好。弟子莲花慧玲来自新加坡。
欢迎你们。
师尊好，师母好，大家好，我是莲花伟之，来自新加坡。
We also came from
尊
Singapore.
好，师母好，大家好，我是整父，莲花整父来自新加坡也是，谢谢。
欢迎你们哦。
师尊好，师母好，大家好，我是莲花凤章，来自纽西兰保生同学会，谢谢
I
大
came
家。
from
欢
New
迎
Zealand.
你。
Hello, my name is Zane. Born and raised in Seattle. Our family comes from a Buddhist tradition back in the day, and we're trying to reconnect with the culture and learn more. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Jamil and I'm from Redmond.
Welcome.
Welcome.
龙边还有要做自我介绍啊，后面还有一位。
师尊好，师母好，大家好，我是莲花佩敏，我是从加拿大温哥华来这里，今天很高兴
From Vancouver.
见到师尊，见到大家。
很高兴见到你，很久没见哦。好，普遍
Very
这一
happy
边
to
有
see
要
you
做自我
too.
介绍的吗？我们这一边，
师尊好，师母好，我是莲亭法师，来自台湾。
欢迎法师。
Came from Taiwan.
好，
Lian Ting,
还
Reverend
有
Lian
要做
Ting.
自我介绍的吗？
Anybody else?
那让我们也以热烈的掌声欢迎世界各地的上师、教授师、法师同们善信大
We
德
would
来
also
参
like
加
to
同
welcome
修。
all participating masters, referents, and everybody.
同修莲花童子本尊法开始。
The good
观
practice
想
tonight
真
is
我尊传
Padmakumara.
承。
Visualize two
南无
Buddha
大日如来
lineage.
南
Namo
无
Vairocana
佛眼
Buddha.
佛
Namo
母
Buddha
南无
Lucana.
阿弥陀
Namo
佛
Amitabha
南无
Buddha.
莲花童子
Namo
南无莲
Padmakumara.
生活佛
Namo Living Buddha
观
Lian
想师
Sheng.
尊与诸佛
Visualize
菩萨
Grandmaster and
是
all
引放
Buddhas
光
and
加持
Buddhisattvas
持
radiating light
莲
to
花
bless
童
us.
子
Recite
心咒
Padmakumara
7遍
mantra 7
Om Guru
times.
莲生悉地吽 Om Guru 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 莲生悉地吽。做四无量观。
Perform the visualization of the four immeasurables. To your left, your father and relatives and ancestors from the father's side.
行者自身的右手
To
边
your
有
right,
母
your
亲及
mother
母
and
亲亲
relatives
人。
and ancestors from the mother's side.
后方有恩人、师
Behind
长、
us,
亲
friends,
朋好
teachers,
友
and。benefactors.
前方有
In
冤
front of
亲
us,
债
enemies
主。
and karmic creditors.
四周有六道
All
众生
sentient
环
beings
环
around
围
us,
绕，
together
同
practicing
修密
tantric
法，
dharma and
共
ultimately
成佛
attaining
道。
Buddhahood.
做精醒手印。
Clap twice and snap your fingers to awaken the deities.
念清净咒及安土地真言。
Recite purification
嗡修
mantras
利
and
修
the
利
austerity
摩诃
mantra.
修利修修利手哈。嗡修多利修多利修摩利修摩利手哈。嗡哇扎拉丹呵呵吽。南无萨曼多摩多兰。嗡多罗多罗得为手哈。念招请咒。
Recite invocation mantra.
手哈。嗡啊吽手哈。嗡啊吽手哈。
We sincerely invoke the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng, the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng, the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng, the main deity of the group practice, Namo Padmakumara, the main deity of the group practice, Namo Padmakumara, the main deity of the group practice, Namo Padmakumara, Namo Vairukana Buddha at the center, Namo Akshobha Buddha to the east, Namo Amitabha Buddha to the west, Namo Ratnasamba Buddha to the south, Namo Amoghasiddhi Buddha to the north, Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, Namo Medicine Buddha, Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jet Ponds, Namo Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Namo Manjushri Bodhisattva, Namo Maitreya Bodhisattva, Namo Vajrasattva, Namo Guru Padmasambhava, Namo Jundi Buddha Mother, all Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, all Buddhas of the 3 times in the 10 directions, all Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas, Namo Mahaprajna Paramita. Great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize full position on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth half bow. Great mandala offering, form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole cosmic space. Make the offering above to the lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, the main deity of the group practice, Padmakumara, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below the all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into gracious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to allow us self-realization. Om Sarva Tathagata Ittamu Gurunana Miensana Kaniniye Dayami. Perform the fourfold refuge visualization. Visualize our lineage guru, all the lineage gurus, the Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Reset the mantra. Namo Gorobe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sheng-yen. Namo Gorobe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sheng-yen. Namo Gorobe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sheng-yen. Alma protection, form Vajra mudra, recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times. Om Boyolanjali, Om Boyolanjali, Om Boyolanjali, Om Boyolanjali, Om Boyolanjali, Om Boyolanjali, Om Boyolanjali. Touch the mudra to the brow, throat, heart, left and right shoulders. As you release the mudra, visualize the protectors on your 4 sides. Recite Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra. Invocation of the 8 great Bodhisattvas. Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Namo Maitreya Bodhisattva, Namo Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Namo Samanthabhadra Bodhisattva, Namo Vajrapani Bodhisattva, Namo Manjushri Bodhisattva, Namo Viskambin Bodhisattva, Namo Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva, Namo all Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas. Homage to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. May we have affinity with the Buddhas and connect with the Buddhadharma. Amid pure self, may we have everlasting bliss and bless with the Buddhadharma. Namo Mahaprajna Paramita, great wisdom mantra. Namo Mahaprajna Paramita, great spiritual mantra. Namo Mahaprajna Paramita, supreme mantra. Namo Mahaprajna Paramita, an unequaled mantra. Namo, the pure light secret Buddha, Dharma treasure Buddha, the tranquil King Buddha with lion's roar and divine speed, the supreme light King Buddha announced by Buddha, Dharma protector Buddha, Vajra treasure, roaming lion Buddha, precious victory Buddha, the supernatural power Buddha, the medicine lapis lazuli light King Buddha, universal light mountain King Buddha, the merit retaining jewel King Buddha, the 7 past Buddhas, future 1,000 Buddhas of this fortune, eon 1,500 Buddhas, 15,000 Buddhas, 500 flower victory Buddhas, the brilliant treasuries Buddhas, and the fixed light Buddha. The Buddhas of the 6 directions, to the east, the precious light moon palace, venerable wonderful voice King Buddha, the south, the tree root flower King Buddha, to the west, the spiritual power flower blessing King Buddha, to the north, moon palace purity Buddha, above the countless vigor jewel crowns Buddha, below the tranquil moon sound King Buddha, all the countless Buddhas, many jewels Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, Maitreya Buddha, Akshobha Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, all beings in the central realm and those in the Pure Lands while moving upon the earth and through the heavens, affording them equanimity and peace, shower limitless compassion upon all living beings, that they might cultivate day and night by constantly invoking the Sutra. One is liberated from the suffering of birth and death and free from all kinds of suffering. Namo, the great wisdom coin, the observant coin, noble coin, the expansively minded coin. Namo, medicine King Bodhisattva, supreme medicine Bodhisattva, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Akasagarba Bodhisattva, Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva, the brilliance of clear cool treasure mountain Bodhisattvas, the wonderful light King, venerable King Tathagata Bodhisattva, chanting the Sutra continually, the world, 7 world honored Buddhas proclaim this mantra.
Chân niệm Chen Te, So Khan, Ni Po Te, Kiều Ho Te, Pho No Ni Te, Ni Na Te, Bin Ni Te, Mo Ho Kya Te, Chân niệm Chen Te, So Khan, Ni Po Te, Kiều Ho Te, Pho No Ni Te, Ni Na Te, Bin Ni Te, Mo Ho Kya Te, Chân niệm Chen Te, So Khan, Ni Po Te, Kiều Ho Te, Pho No Ni Te, Ni Na Te, Bin Ni Te, Mo Ho Kya Te, Chân niệm Chen Te, So Khan, Ni Po Te, Kiều Ho Te, Pho No Ni Te, Ni Na Te, Bin Ni Te, Mo Ho Kya Te, Chân niệm Chen Te, So Khan, Ni Po Te, Kiều Ho Te, Pho No Ni Te, Ni Na Te, Bin Ni Te, Mo Ho Kya Te, Chân niệm Chen Te, So Khan, Ni Po Te, Kiều Ho Te, Pho No Ni Te, Ni Na Te, Bin Ni Te, Mo Ho Kya Te, Chân niệm Chen Te, So Khan. The
Avalokitesvaras in the 10 directions and all Bodhisattvas have vowed to save sentient beings. Calling upon their names allows for liberation. The wise ones expounded diligently, and those with affinity constantly recited. With 1,000 recitations and constant mindfulness, fire causes no harm, knives and weapons break instantly, anger turns into joy, and death revives. Never be doubtful, for the Buddha always speaks the truth. Hiking Avalokitesvara alleviates all sufferings. Faced with the fatal crisis, the doomed shall live. The words of the Buddhas are always true, thus they deserve our homage. With 1,000 recitations, grave karma shall be eradicated. Those with great merit and unwavering faith single-mindedly chant this sutra and dedicate its merit to all. 1,000 recitations will eradicate grave karma. This concludes the Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra. Recite deliverance mantra 3 times.
Aminito Picanante, Aminito Picananto, Kianini Kakiana, Zito Kiani Soha, Namo Amito Boye, Dota Kiatoye, Dote Yata, Aminito Bobi, Aminito Sedan Bobi, Aminito Picanante, Aminito Picananto, Kianini Kakiana, Zito Kiani Soha, Namo Amito Boye, Dota Kiatoye, Dote Yata, Aminito Bobi, Aminito Sedan Bobi, Aminito Picanante, Aminito Picananto, Kianini Kakiana, Zito Kiani Soha. 首节根本上师莲花童
From
子
our
手
lineage
印，
root guru Padmakumara Mudra.
先观空，
First, empty your mind.
念
We
观
said
空
this
咒。
Nyata visualization
Om
mantra.
Sobawa Sutta Sarva Dharma Sobawa Sotto Hang. Om Sobawa Sutta Sarva Dharma Sobawa Sotto Hang. Om Sobawa Sutta Sarva Dharma Sobawa Sotto Hang. 观想一个湖，
Visualize a mirror-like
光明
lake
如
with a
镜。
tall mountain at the center.
湖的中央现出一座高山，山之顶有
On
一
top
莲
of
花
the
座，
mountain there is a lotus throne
莲花座上有一个 home
with the
字，
home syllable above
home
it.
字旋转，
The home syllable revolves and transforms into our lineage root guru, the white
站立
Mahapadmakumara,
于莲花座
standing
上。
on the lotus throne.
大白莲花童子
He
相貌
appears
庄严，
magnificent and
圆满
perfect
如
like a
佛，
Buddha,
天衣
with his
飘逸，
celestial garments fluttering in the
身
wind,
放百宝光
and his
明。
body radiating 100 precious lights.
在上师的右边有
To
过
his
去十
right are
方
all
诸
Buddhas
佛，
of the 10 directions.
在左边
To
有一
his left
切
are
菩
all
萨
Bodhisattvas,
圣贤尊
sages,
家，而历代祖师
and
又
lineage
层
gurus
层地
surrounding him,
围绕
layers
着。
upon layers.
在法座之下
Below
有
his
四大
Dharma
天
throne are
王
the
与
four
空
heavenly
行
kings,
护法。
dakinis, and protectors.
观想根本上师莲花童子天
Visualize
心部
an
位
Om
嗡
syllable at the
字，放
Guru's
出一道
third
强烈
eye,
的白色
radiating a
光芒，
bright ray of
照
white
射
light
行者自
upon
己的
our
天
own
心。
brow point.
这是大圆
This is
寂
the
之
light of
光，
the perfect
使
mirror-like
行者
wisdom,
之五蕴
transforming
与
our
艺
five
术化
skandhas
为无
and the
形。
earth consciousness into nothing.
根本上师喉部
On the
大
Guru's
房
throat
子
chakra there is an
放射
Ah
一道
syllable,
强烈的红
radiating
光，
bright red
照
light
射行
upon
者
our
的
throat
头部，
chakra,
把行者一切贪性、欲
transforming
念
our
化为
greeds
无
and
形，
desires into
变
nothing,
为大智慧的光明。
becoming the brightness of the great
根本
wisdom.
上师心部
On the
后
Guru's heart
房
chakra
子
there is a blue
放
Hum
射一道
syllable,
强烈的
radiating
蓝光，
bright blue
照
light
射
upon
行
our
者
heart
的
chakra,
心部，调伏了行者痴性，
subduing
化
our
痴性
delusions
一
and
无形。
ignorance and transforming them into nothing.
在观想根本上师及三
Then
宝之
visualize
间，
our lineage root
重
guru
放
and
无
the
碍
three
光明，
jewels
照住了
radiating the
行
five
者
color
全
light
身，
upon our whole
而行
body,
者之恶业罪障，一
and
切无
our
始之
bad
障业，
karma
全
and
化为黑
transgressions
气，
all
由毛
transform
细
into
孔
smoke
蒸发出去，
and expel through the
在
skin
大
pores
气中消失。
that evaporates into thin air.
行者全身纯白，
Our
透
whole
明
body
发
become
光
pure white,
而
crystal
清
clear,
凉。
transparent, radiant, and we
再
attain
来
peace
观
and
想莲
ease.
花童子住在自己
Visualize
头顶
Padmakumara
前线，
to be seated
自
above
身
our
中脉
apex
经
on top
轮
of our
莲花
heads.
开放，莲花
Our
上
heart
有一
chakra
个
opens to become a lotus
月轮
blossom
中
at the
有一种
center,
和这
Mamundus
吽字
at the
放光，
center, a Hum
观想
syllable
莲花童
radiating
子
light.
在头顶变成一粒米大的光
Visualize
珠，
Padmakumara above
由
our
一切
heads to
进入
decrease
自
in
己
size
中
to
脉，
become a drop of light and
顺着中
enter
脉一
our
直
central
向
channel
到
through
经
the
轮，
apex
坐在
and
经轮
reach
的莲花上
our
面。
lotus at the heart chakra.
莲
Padmakumara seated on our heart chakra gradually increases in size, and with the snap of the fingers, we merge with Padmakumara, completely identical. We said Padmakumara mantra 108 times. First perform mala visualization.
Om Guru Lian Sheng Siddhi Hom. 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 Om Guru Nian Seng Siddhi Hum. Om Guru Nian Seng Siddhi Hum. Om Guru Nian Seng Siddhi Hum. 做9节佛风，有三摩地。
Perform 9-cycle Buddha breathing, enter samadhi. If you're not trained in the 9-cycle Buddha breathing, you can just breathe slowly, softly, and deeply.
加持八大本尊心咒及念佛。
Recite the heart mantras of the eight principal deities and incan Buddha
Mani
Amitabha.
Padme Hum. Om Panamo Linto Ling Soha. Om Ha 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 Wei Samaye Soha. Om Zeri Zuri Zunti Soha. Om Zambala Chaleng Chalaye Soha. Om A Hom Beta Gorobema Siti Hom Se. Om A Hom Gorobe Aha Sasamaha Lian Sheng Siti Hom. Deyata Om Bekazaya Bekazaya Maha Bekazaya Raja Samo Kyadehe Soha.
Homage to the 36 trillions, 119,000 and 500 Buddhas with the same name at the location of Amitabha. Homage to the 36 trillions, 119,000 and 500 Buddhas with the same name at the location of Amitabha. Homage to the 36 trillions, 119,000 and 500 Buddhas with the same name at the location of Amitabha. Please recite the supplication to the Guru Buddha to stay in the Sahara. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas in the Buddha verses as numerous as grain of sand, compassionate Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapas, Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The three poisons are proliferating endlessly. Our body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the miserable purgatory rebirth. In great compassion, His Holiness descended upon this world to salvage deluded ones. Hence the three jewels emanate wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, humans, endeavors rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of the Buddha to plead that you stay in the samsara to turn the Dharma wheel, to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Recite Longevity Buddha mantra 21 times and dedicate the merit to the health and longevity of all in this country.
Om Amanoni to 20 years old. 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 回向
Merit dedication to Buddha lineage, solid sentient beings. The Guru mantra allows rebirth at the Mahatwin lotus ponds, the utmost rest secret of the manifestation of 18 Padmakumaras. Now I practice and make offerings and generate the great vow from the depth of my heart to reach this pure land. Grandmaster, please bless us and empower us to become lotus born with great self-mastery, to liberate ourselves and others and widely deliver sentient beings. May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm utmost bliss, reaping forth with generosity from above, aiding those in the three realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha's school, disciples wholeheartedly pray to Padmakumara at Mahatwin lotus ponds of Western paradise. By your pure lotus light, please protect our lineage Guru with great health, a strong body free from all illnesses, filled with great energy, high spirits with no cares, harmony, love, respect, and fulfillery forces to live a long life in samsara, to turn to Dharma will, and guide sentient beings to the other shore. Inviting His Holiness to perform merit dedication. Homage to Padmakumara of the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. Homage to Padmakumara at the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. Homage to Padmakumara at the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. We pray to Padmakumara to bless the Buddha spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha verses. We pray to Padmakumara to bless us so karmic sicknesses be eradicated. May all cultivators have good health. We pray to Padmakumara to bestow upon us abundant resources and provisions. And please bestow upon us perfect wisdom. Please bestow upon us love and respect. Please bestow upon us that we can subdue all demonic obstructions. To Padmakumara at the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds, gods in heavens, gods on earth, may calamities abandon us, may all calamities far from us, let disasters turn into dust, may all of our prayers be granted. We pray that you bless us so the pandemic disperse, coronaviruses disappear, the natural disasters disappear, man-made calamities vanish, bad affinities vanish, bad thoughts vanish. Recite 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Sato Samaya Mano Banaya Beja Sato Deno Badita Tsezo Me Bawa Soto Kaye Me Bawa Sobo Kaye Me Bawa Annola To Me Bawa Sarwa Sidi Me Bolaya Cha Sawa Gamma Sota Me Jitamu Sri Yen Goro Hom Ha 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 He Bagawan Sawa Tata Gata Beja Mami Mencha Beja Bawa Maha Samaya Sato A Hom Pe Om Beja Sato Samaya Manu Banaya Beja Sato Deno Badita Tsezo Me Bawa Soto Kayu Me Bawa Sobo Kayu Me Bawa Annola To Me Bawa Sarwa Sidi Me Bolaya Cha Sawa Gamma Sota Me Jitamu Sri Yen Goro Hom Ha 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 He Bagawan Sawa Tata Gata Beja Mami Mencha Beja Bawa Maha Samaya Sato A Hom Pe Om Beja Sato Samaya Manu Banaya Beja Sato Deno Badita Tsezo Me Bawa Soto Kayu Me Bawa Sobo Kayu Me Bawa Anarato me pawa sarwa siti me bodayata sawa kama sotame jidamu siriyan gorohom ha 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 he bagawan sawa tata gata bezamami mensa bez pawa maha samaya sato a hom pei 做观想大礼拜，100根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊
Homage to our lineage Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for position on the ground, releasing mudra second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for position on the ground. Third to all head gods and Dharma protectors. Visualize for position on the ground. Fourth head bow.
念圆满咒 Om Brim Om Brim Om Brim Om Mani Padme Hum。让我们以热烈的掌声感谢根本上师法王圣尊莲生活佛加持同修圆满吉祥。
Let's give a round of applause to show our utmost gratitude to our lineage Guru for his blessing to this good practice. Now let us watch a video clip prepared by D.B. Boye. Recalling past lives after past lives, how much separation and reunion has there been? Now I'm just a humble cultivator. I have come to understand that the entire world, human life, is either parting while alive or separation through death. I often wonder why it must be this way. Every phenomenon arises due to causes and conditions. When the time comes, we will reunite. This is the karmic connection spanning many lifetimes. The gatherings and separations in life, as well as the feasts of emotions and love, are all temporary illusions. At this moment, gathering. At another moment, separation. Now longings and then emotions all happen in a moment. These affinities can also change into nothing with some external factors. It was not there at the beginning, and it won't be there forever. Ultimately, it is like a moon reflection on water or a flower reflection in the mirror. Like a dream, it is vivid while dreaming, yet when we wake up, it is empty, all gone. If you understand that everything is intrinsically empty, then why are you chasing after romantic love and be so attached to it? Run fast! Hey, don't run away! Don't run away! Oh my gosh! I'll follow you wherever you go. Oh heavens! Thus, for the cover of this book, we chose Living Buddha Lian Sheng's painting of two fish chasing each other. Wherever you go, I will follow. It represents the lifetime pursuit of lovers. The cover uses a water blue color as a background to represent the underwater world. In addition, faint bubbles of varying sizes are added to symbolize karmic love connections from life to life. The bubbles can burst easily, and at the end, everything is ultimately empty. How would an accomplished practitioner, due to the entanglement of karmic love connections spanning lifetimes, face the multitudes of romantic love and thousands of love letters? If it were you, how would you handle it? I would burn all the love letters. That's one way to do it, but that is inconsiderate and self-righteous. How could you let these disciples who are trapped in romantic love continue to drift and drown in the sea of love? Should we not forsake any single being? That makes sense. So what should we do then? Let's listen to what Living Buddha Lian Sheng had to say. As a spiritual cultivator, we cannot be attached to this romantic love. However, we still need to have love towards sentient beings. Bodhisattvas love sentient beings. Bodhisattvas are called the one with realization and love. It means one has awakened themselves through spiritual cultivation and also wants all sentient beings to awaken. Their aspiration is to help sentient beings. Their wish is to help all sentient beings awaken. This is how Bodhisattva is. They come to help sentient beings. They manifest in various forms to help sentient beings. Therefore, Bodhisattvas are the most awakened with compassion and love, and all Buddhas perfect and benefit sentient beings. This is the calligraphy attached with the book to remind readers to always remember the awakened compassion and love of Bodhisattvas. In his book number 97, Love Letters to a Monk, Living Buddha Lian Sheng mentioned, I came to this world not for romantic love, not for love, but solely to deliver sentient beings. I descended to the human world to spread the teachings of the Buddha, and the lotus blossom is my symbol. It blooms out of muddy water and remains pure. Many of my female disciples are obsessed with romantic love and cannot free themselves. It is my responsibility to awaken them. Otherwise, immersed in a pool of filthy water, how can they recognize the Buddha nature? Let's see how Living Buddha Lian Sheng awakens those obsessed with karmic love connections. On May 15, 2023, the book number 294 of Living Buddha Lian Sheng entitled Samsaric Affections is available globally. This book is worth contemplation and not hastily glanced over. Upon reading, it will surely inspire spiritual insights and help you understand that form is emptiness and emptiness is form, and to see the reality. Love and romance feel real, but ultimately they're empty. How long does the glowing sunset last?
真的非常有趣。菩萨最视觉有情，要我们很期待这本新书，看看师尊是如何来帮助有情众生的。
Grandmaster's paintings in this video.
敬献哈达，请大家恭敬合掌，请莲叶上师代表全体弟子向法王圣尊莲生活佛请法。敬献哈达以表最崇高敬意。
to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage Guru as a symbol of the highest honor on behalf of all of us.
请大家一起虔诚恭敬合掌，恭请根本上师法王圣尊莲生活佛做宝贵的法语开示。
Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakyamuni Buddha. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Darji. Let's pay homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight. Padmakumara from the Maha Twin Lotus Bonds. Sumo, Tanchen Katso, Tutan Siddhi. All Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? These are greetings in different languages. Cantonese, Vietnamese, Japanese, Korean, Spanish, Japanese, Today we practice Padmakumara, deity yoga. Padmakumara has been explained many times. There's no need to talk more about him. Otherwise, it would only be repetitious. Just now, we watched the animation video prepared by D.B. Boye Foundation. Talking about karmic love connections from many lifetimes. And it's not just those belonging to Padmakumara, but to all of us. We all have many karmic love connections from many lifetimes. I often said, don't think that today, right now, we are modern people. And ancient people, actually, before we were also ancient people. So now these modern people are connected karmically to the ancient people. Every one of us has it. Now we are modern people, but in the future, you will become the future people. Buddhism talks about karma, cause and effect, causes and conditions from many lifetimes, life after life, lives after lives. So many lifetimes. We often talk about 3 lifetimes. Those are just representative of the past, present, and future. But there are many past lifetimes, and there are also many future lifetimes. Unless in Tantric Buddhism we say that you become a Buddha in one lifetime by practicing Tantric Dharma. You are liberated through one lifetime and attain Buddhahood in one lifetime. But in other schools, You become a Buddha after many lifetimes. Like Kala Chakra. It's Kala Chakra, right? Through him, you can attain Buddhahood in 7 lifetimes by attaining Kala Chakra's empowerment. So, after receiving Kala Chakra empowerment, you will be reincarnated 7 times, and then in one of the lifetimes, eventually you would become or attain Buddhahood. So it talks about Buddhahood in 7 lifetimes. So it showed that previous lifetimes are numerous. So love, karmic connections, human beings always have lots of feelings and love. So there are many intermingling of these connections inadvertently. And recently I have written 2 books. One is this Samsaric Affections, and the other one is Full of Moonlight. I'm not sure the exact English name that they use for that one. And these are all related to the karmic love connections. So I will not talk too clearly, otherwise you will not buy and read the books. So I want to leave it mystical. What is love? There's the saying. Anybody knows? I asked the world what love is, that people can live in life and death for it. Recently, Simu, Guru's wife, often told me, she said, she told me, because she's sick, right? Her body is sick. So it is unavoidable to talk about who's leaving first. Is it me or is it Simu? And Simu said, if Simu leaves the world first, she will be staying around to take care of me. And would be like this. She would be back to give me massages. So I joke with Simu. I will do protection. The light protection enveloping me so you cannot get near me. You want to massage me? She said that she will definitely come back even after she dies. She will serve me still. And I said, I will do a protection. And Simu said, I can break the protection. So we will compete and see who's stronger. That's why I cannot teach her all the Dharma methods. I have to keep some for myself, otherwise I would be massaged. I would be given massages.
讲个笑话吧。
Let me share a joke.
有一个男生对女生讲
A man told a woman,
导演，我可以请你当女主角吗？
if I became a director, can you become my main actress? And the woman replied, but I'm not beautiful.
他说我长得不漂亮。男生讲没关系。
And the man said, no worries, it's a horror movie.
啊，有一位女生读大学，
A
她
lady
就写信给妈妈，
in college
请妈妈寄
and
钱
wrote a letter to her mom
理由
to
是
ask for money.
新交了男朋友，
And the
已
reason
经约会6次了，
is I have a new boyfriend and been dating 6 times, and I have worn all my
要再买
clothes,
新的衣服。
so I need a new dress.
妈妈回信，
And mom
你
replied,
再换个男朋友。
why don't you just change the boyfriend and then you can wear them again?
好，我们进入你问我答。
Now we'll do the question and
台
answer
湾的
from
莲
Taiwan.
花，它是后面写的，请勿公开
Lotus,
姓名。
please do not disclose my name.
师尊佛安，弟
Grandmaster,
子强
peace.
想请示师佛，现在
I
网
have
络
these
媒体
questions.
时代，
In the era
语
of
音胜过
internet
文
media, videos are more
字
popular
胜
than
过书
text,
籍
and text is more
更多
popular than
现在的
books.
年轻人
Many young people
显然很
nowadays
少看书
seldom read books
看经
or sutras
看文集，故略生出
or any
经书
writings.
等
So
久
we
之
often find books or
泛黄，
sutras
也就是说，
left to turn yellow.
那些经书啊，放了很久，
So the sutras are
颜色都黄掉了，
left there to
或
become
者放在户外，
yellowed or placed
有
outside
损坏
or
的
damaged.
现象，感觉到有这个宝，有这是宝，等于是
We
说经书是宝，
feel it
但
is
是无人
such a
明知
pity
无人密
for
知
no one seems to appreciate such a treasure, because the
弟子
sutras
曾
are
在寺庙
treasures.
看到满
I
山
once saw
满
boxes
谷花心印经
full
印
of
书的
printed
石像，
sutras and books in
大
temples.
多全附上灰
Most of
尘，
them are
或者
covered
已经
in
破
dust or damage.
故想请示师佛，
Therefore, I would like to
注印
ask
经
Guru
书的功
Buddha
德，以网路
whether the merit of
转
printing
传
sutras is the
经
same
书
as
内
that of sharing on the
或师尊
internet
文集，
the
或者
contents
经
of
句等功德，
sutras,
是否相
scriptures,
同？
Grandmaster's books,
或
quotes,
制
or
成影音，利益
creating
更
videos to
广大
benefit
的众
more
生。
sentient beings?
他是认为是说这个现在以前的功德，很多人都是
So, in the
印经啊、
past,
印
people
书
say
啊，
that by
那么就
printing
印上
sutras
书啊，
and good
送
books
给大家看。
and given free for
但是
everybody,
呢，他认为现在的人很少看
but he
看经、看
thinks
善
that
事，
Nowadays, people rarely read printed books or sutras. They usually just use the internet or to listen to it. So the question is, the merit of printing sutras and the merit of listening or sharing on the internet. What do you think? We should comply with the era, right? Everybody now is on the internet. So to propagate on the internet versus on the media or newspapers or magazines should have generated the same merit, in my opinion. In my view, they should generate the same merit. It is true that in many temples, they have printed many sutras and good books to distribute to people, but nowadays not many people read them because most of them get on the internet. But there are still people who like to read printed books like myself. But some people read on the internet, especially younger people. I think the merit should be the same. Please do not disclose my name. It's not so important, is it? It's nothing personal. The same merit. In the past, I got True Buddha News or our Enlightenment magazine, Ranteng. If I'm in Taiwan, I would take the old True Buddha News and Enlightenment magazines and go to the earth god temples and leave them there so that people can read them when they go praying and they see the True Buddha News or the Enlightenment magazine and would just take them. There are still some people who read them. And in America, you can take them to in front of the restaurants or in front of the convenience stores, together with many free newspapers or free publications. So we can put our True Buddha News there too. One time, Fochi dined at a Western restaurant, a very high-class restaurant. And while dining, they had a special bread made wrapped in newspaper. And when Fochi took a look, it turned out to be True Buddha newspaper. So it's used to wrap bread. Although he moved here when he was in kindergarten, he understood or he could recognize a few that was true Buddha news. Because there was my photo on it. And it was used to wrap a piece of a loaf of bread at the Western restaurant. So that's also benefiting, widely benefiting sentient beings. So the merit is the same. All kinds of propagations should comply with the era. Media is very important. So through the media or the internet, but books are still important. Some people still read books, like myself. And I gain a lot of knowledge from reading books. If you read e-books or on the internet, it would be harder on the eyes. And it's better if you read printed books. It's not so bad. A young man took a test on behalf of somebody else and got caught and was put into jail. And he was asked, the inmates asked, "How did you get in?" And oh, you wouldn't believe it, I got in through a test, because of a test. These things happened before. I don't know about now. Probably because someone does really well in test and always get the good grades, so he's very desirable. And then other people who get the bad grades but have money, and when they look alike, would ask another person to take the test, and the examiner cannot tell. So, especially for college entrance test or high school entrance tests. This is a joke about Taiwan, only meaningful about Taiwanese. Two kids chatting in kindergarten. Ding Ding asked Mimi, "Is your dad bigger or mom is bigger?" And Mimi said, "Of course mom." Why? Because when they argued, dad would say, "Yeah, this is like your dad." And mom would say, "Your grandma." Yeah. It's only funny if you understand Taiwanese. Of course, grandma is more senior than dad. It's also a joke about taking a test. Mom texts her son, take the test with a cool mind. I found your connection, very big support. But you still have to go through the process. And the son replied the text, really? Thank you, Mom. I will take my test. Who's my supporter? And Mom said, Wen Chang Di Jun, which is the God for study. That's your connection. That's pretty funny. It's only funny for Chinese or Taiwanese. Now we will expound on the Vimalakirti Sutra. Now we are talking about chapter 2. The sutra is spoken by Vimalakirti on skillful means or convenience Dharma. Now we are talking about he penetrated the Dharma gates, perfected the wisdom, and mastered convenience Dharma to fulfill wishes. He understood the mind of sentient beings and their interest, and can clearly discern their varying spiritual capacities. Everybody should understand this text. This referred to the lay Buddhist Vimalakirti, that he could understand the interests of sentient beings. Or the likings. This interest is often talked about in the Buddhist sutras. This word, interest, the so-called 6 kinds of interests of human beings, like desires, are also the interests of human beings, like wealth, sex, name, food, sleep, play. Those are the 6 interests of human beings. Like some people like money more, some people like sex, and some people like name, and some people like food, some people like sleep. Of course, it's good. Sleep is a good thing. Some people love to play and have fun, wander around. Many of them. And Vimalakirti knows the interests of every person. So he understood the interests of in the mind of sentient beings. So by seeing a person, he would know immediately what they like. And he can also discern the varying spiritual capacities. The intelligent ones are called the sharp ones, and the stupid ones are called dull. Everyone is different in this world. If you're clever, generally speaking, how can you tell if someone is smart or not? Typically, we look at the eyes. the facial reading, the eyebrows for brothers, the eyes are for wisdoms, the forehead is for the blessings when at youth, and the center part is at the middle age, and at the lower part of the face is for the older age. And here at the temples are about your romances, about your beauties. And the tip of the nose is about your wealth. So the hall of wealth, the hall of brothers, the hall of wisdom, and this is the hall of followers and servants. How many people will help you? You can tell from here. And this is the hall of romances. So this is the facial physiognomy, facial reading. Chinese like to do this. And after you shave your hair, you can see the wrinkle, and you can see how many spouses you have. Between the hair, there should be like a line, here a line, and here a line. Then it shows how many wives you have. This is a secret. You know, I'm exposing the secret without asking anything from you. But you will be able to tell by looking at it. And the eyebrows, from the eyebrows you can tell how many brothers or sisters. For your wealth, it's the tip of your nose. For your lifespan, it's from your ears, or this line here, between the nose and the lips, the upper lips. This is called Ren Zong, between the bottom of the nose to the upper lip. So you can tell. There are marks on our bodies. And how many children will you have? We can tell also. And how about your love life? We often look at the palm, the lifeline, the career line, the love line, the intelligent or wisdom line. They're all there. Are you smart or not? Can tell from your fingers. The eyes on your finger joints. See, they're eyes. Everyone have them. Everyone has them. If those eyes, dull, then you're dull. Then you're dumb. But if the eyes have eyelashes on your palms, you have eyelashes on your fingers, and the more lashes there are, the smarter you are. This is also a secret. and it's free for you. I'm sharing it with you. If someone is smart or not, and you can tell from the palms right away. The eyes on your palm. How many eyebrows are there? Then that's smart. But if there are only 2 lines and no lashes, then they're stupid. And usually the skinny people are smarter than the fat people. The Taiwanese often say that if you're big and heavy, then you're dumb. Why? Because they only know to eat. Until they are heavy and fat, then they look dumb. But the slim ones, or rather, are smarter. So Vimalakirti could discern the various spiritual capacities, the smart ones and the stupid ones. Of course, he did not use his physical eyes to discern, because Vimalakirti had 5 kinds of eyes. And the eyes who discern are called the Dharma eyes. To discern the spiritual capacities of sentient beings are being discerned using the Dharma eyes. Then you would be able to tell if someone has superior spiritual capacity, middling, or inferior spiritual capacity. Even when you're smart, there are also either superior intelligence or middling or inferior intelligence. And Vimalakirti knew, because he had 5 kinds of eyes. The first kind is the Buddha eyes, the highest kind. The second one are the Dharma eyes. Or the wisdom eyes. So the fundamental wisdom, the wisdom of discernment, and the all-embracing wisdom. That's the wisdom eyes. And then the wisdom of discernment is the Dharma eyes. And then the third eye, or divine eye, that you can see faraway places, the heavens and the earth. And last is the physical eyes, which are the mundane eyes. Those are the 5 kinds of eyes. And Vimalakirti had them all. He had long trodden on the Buddha path, and his mind was spotlessly and resolutely on the greater vehicle. What is the Buddha path? In one word. The original face of human beings. That's the Buddha path. What is the Buddha path? Is the original face of human beings. A disciple came for spiritual consultation and asked Grandmaster, Grandmaster, where did I come from? And in the future, where will I go to? Then you would need to know their past lives. to where, or the origin, where did I come from and where will I go to? You need to know this. So Vimalakirti had been on the Buddha path for a long time. What does it mean? So the lay Buddhist Vimalakirti was a bodhisattva. And long ago he knew about his original face. And that was the Jinsu Tathagata. And he knew himself that he was the Jinsu Tathagata. That's his original face. And Grandmaster's original face, Grandmaster had also long trodden on the Buddha path, because I know that I was Padmakumara, the lotus youth. And I came from Amitabha Buddhas. Guru Padmasambhava also came from Amitabha Buddha. Sariputra also came from Amitabha Buddha. Why Sariputra came from Amitabha Buddha? Because when Sakyamuni Buddha spoke on Amitabha Sutra, he spoke to Sariputra directly. He did not talk to any other disciples, but he did talk to Sariputra. So Sariputra came from Amitabha Buddha. Based on his spiritual root and his original face, a sutra would be spoken to the disciple. So there was a reason why Sakyamuni Buddha spoke on the sutras. Been long on the Buddha path, Vimalakirti knew already that his original face was the Jinsu Tathagata. And his mind was spotlessly and resolutely on the greater vehicle, pure or spotless. Nowadays, our minds are not pure. It is contaminated. Our mind is complicated. Nobody has a simple or single thread. Then you can accomplish anything. Lao Tzu said, if you can be single-pointed, then you can accomplish anything. If you only have one mind and you are single-pointed and single-minded to do it without any other distracting thoughts, then you can be reborn in Sukhavati. And then if you can be single-pointed, you will have attainment. Because nowadays it's good enough if you can only have 10 thoughts, because actually your thoughts are very complicated. But Vimalakirti was very pure, which means one, which means completely pure. So his mind had been completely pure long ago, and no flaws or contaminants in it. And it's rare to have such a person. Typically, people would think about wanting to play, to hear somewhere, and you want to earn more money there. Or they think about this and they think about that. And today we have this girlfriend, and then the next day another girlfriend, and then another one. It's keep changing. The same for the woman. They keep changing. That's not pure. But Vimalakirti is pure, spotless. And pure. So Vimalakirti's mind is completely immaculate. Only goodness and virtues or good for the sake of sentient beings, to deliver sentient beings. That is good or virtuous. Why did he come to Saha world? Is to help Sakyamuni Buddha deliver sentient beings. That's called virtues or good. So after we have attainment, what do? We help the world. What does it mean? It means in the Saha world, we transform and deliver sentient beings. So you use your pure self to deliver sentient beings in the Saha world. That's this pure and virtuous means. And resolutely on the greater vehicle. What does this mean? This resoluteness is actually non-regressing. Like if we generate a vow to deliver sentient beings, and then all of a sudden you give up. Today, from today on, I will not do it anymore. Then you're not resolute. In deliverance of sentient beings, you cannot regress. You cannot go back on your words. You have been ordained, and then you return to home life. That means you regress. So, returning to home life is a regression. Or you become ordained, but you don't cultivate spiritually. That means you also regress. Because once you're ordained, you should cultivate spiritually. Otherwise, what use is ordination? Just to get by and sleep and slacking off, and you don't want to practice today, you don't cultivate today, that means you have regress for the day. So you become ordained and just to live as before that, then it's meaningless to be ordained. Or if you say, I don't want to do it anymore, that means you have regressed. And the disciple of the three jewels, you say, I don't want that to be anymore. Because as a disciple of the three jewels, you have to abide by the 5 precepts. You cannot kill, lie, steal, commit sexual misconduct, or be intoxicated. And then if you don't abide by them, that means you have regress. So the lay practitioners too can regress. And the ordained people should abide by the 8 precepts, not the precept 8. At least 8, but there are many of them, 250 or 500 precepts. So resolute means non-regressing. On the greater vehicle like the car, which means you widely deliver sentient beings. In the past, this lesser vehicle or Hinayana means they only deliver themselves. They don't care about other people. They just wish that they have attainment themselves, and other people's attainments are, they don't care about other people's attainments. That's the smaller vehicle. They focus more on meditation and precepts. And the greater vehicle, or Mahayana, emphasize more on wisdom and meditation, two of them. So precept, meditative suitability, and wisdom. And the Hinayana stress more on abiding by the precepts and meditation. And Mahayana emphasize more on wisdom and also meditation. And Mahayana has different ways to abide by the precepts, but not as strict as the Hinayana, because they, Mahayana practitioners need to deliver sentient beings, so they blend with the sentient beings. So you don't abandon sentient beings, but Hinayana keep apart from the sentient beings. So Mahayana blend or enter or together with the sentient beings to deliver them. So they deliver more people than the Hinayana. So the difference between the greater vehicle and lesser vehicle is one deliver more people and one less. So in the ancient Buddhism, the upper court, they are typically the Hinayana, and at the greater or middle court would be more Mahayana. So Vimalakirti was non-regressing on his wide deliverance of sentient beings. So that's the greater vehicle. All his actions were based on proper considerations. So everything that Vimalakirti did were based on proper considerations. Generally speaking, every one of us has consideration. Today, the fruits that we ate sweeter or more tart, then you can consider or compare. And when you buy fruits, you can consider which ones are sweeter or more tart. So every one of us has this consideration. And also the lesser vehicle or the greater vehicle, they both can consider. So to deliver sentient beings, you need to consider them well. So you consider based on the wisdom of discernment or the fundamental wisdom or the all-embracing wisdom. Then that would be called the good or proper considerations. Every one of us do have our consideration, how to do this, and you compare. compare and consider whether you use the fundamental wisdom, the wisdom of discernment, or the all-embracing wisdom. And if you use the three wisdoms to consider, that's called the proper or the good consideration. And his mind is as vast as the ocean. On earth, what is bigger? Not the land, but the ocean. The ocean to the land is 4 to 3. So saying that mind as vast as the ocean is just an analogy, which means has a broad mind. And we say that the belly of a minister can embrace a ship. So the great spiritual cultivator, of course, has a broad mind and a broad heart. They would not care about little things, and doesn't matter what other people say. Everything doesn't matter. The guru who shaved my hair, the great monk Shen from Hong Kong, Guiqian Si or temple, he shaved my head, and he often said this: one is okay, and sometimes it's okay, no big deal. It's fine. He never cared about those. Only that is heart, mind as vast as the ocean. Heart and mind as vast as the ocean. Like when Grandmaster is giving spiritual consultation, I will not remember whether you give me a red pocket or not. And if you just leave after consultation, I don't care. It doesn't matter whether how much you gave, it's inside the red pocket, right? Whether it's $1 or $100, it doesn't matter. I never look either. It's voluntary. It's up to you. And even if you don't give, it's okay. I will not go after you and say, oh, you didn't give me anything. There would be a small mind. And you even notice that? No, not me. I wouldn't know if you gave or not. If you do, or you place it on the table, or you just turn around and laugh, or later on, you realize, oh, the red pocket is still here, and you ran back and said, oh, sorry, Grandmaster, I didn't give you earlier. Oh, I didn't even notice. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's mine as vast as the ocean. If someone comes, it doesn't matter whether they stand or sit or kneel. It's fine. It's okay. Whether it's fine, whatever you do, standing, sitting, I don't care. There is no rule coming into my spiritual consultation room. None. It's whatever you like, whatever is comfortable for you. We spiritual cultivators should have heart and mind as vast as the ocean. If somebody scolded you, it's fine. The great monk Shen in the past, told him, "Oh, you did this or that," and he said, "It's okay, no, it's no problem, it's fine." They don't care about anything. The heart is as expansive as the ocean. Whatever other people said, or whatever you saw, or whatever you see, they will not keep them in mind or in their heart. So the heart and mind as vast as the ocean, and spiritual cultivators should be like that. And next, he appeared in the Buddha's impressive bearing. Naturally, in spiritual cultivation, when you reach a certain realm, their movement, their speech, in Tantric Buddhism we say, what they say, everything they say is mantra. The thoughts are visualization. Their movement is all mudra. Any movement and action is a mudra. So this naturally appeared as an impressive bearing. A guru has the bearing of a guru. An ordained person would have the bearing of an ordained person, a monk or a nun. So a monk and a nun also have a certain awe. And the lay practitioner also have the look of an elderly. Like when you're old, then you would have that kind and compassionate look. That's the bearing of a lay practitioners. Or the look of a mother should be motherly and kind. And then the look or the bearing of an ordained person should be kindness. Look at the Buddha statues. They all have that bearing. And the protectors and the Vajra protectors or Herukas, they have that formidable bearing, which is what it should be. And the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, they lower their eyes with compassionate look. The Buddhas sit there and they look down. And we say that they have a very kind eyebrows and very kind eyes. And the Herukas have the formidable, wrathful bearing. And Bodhisattvas compassionate towards sentient beings, so they have that compassionate look. So all the appearance or the look. So, because Vimalakirti is the Jinsu Tathagata, therefore, he had the appearance of a Buddha's bearing, although he was a lay Buddhist. A bearing or mannerism, and the heart and mind as vast as the ocean. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. It doesn't matter. Anything is no big deal. I remember one time, I think I wrote it in the book. I was in Taiwan. I saved lots of money. And a disciple came to borrow money from me. And I knew that it would never be returned. I knew that.
但是我仍然借给他。
But I still loaned it to him.
他那时候走的时候是用麻袋装的。
At that time, he used a cloth bag.
麻袋装现金，用麻袋装的背走。我看他走出用麻袋装的。
Bag.
从此啊。
And I saw him carrying it on his back, and I've never seen him ever since. So this lay Buddhist, everybody knew him. The early disciples knew this person. So, but it's okay. Why did I loan it to him? Because indirectly he helped me with one thing. So that's why I thought I owed him something, so I loaned him all my money. And so he carried the money in that sack, cloth bag, cloth sack. And one time during a consultation, someone told me that he was very poor. So I opened my drawer and I gave all the money from the drawer. And that was all given away. And it's fine. I don't even remember his name. And I don't keep it in my mind. So the heart and mind is vast as the ocean, because money is an external thing. In Malaysia, I was wearing a Rolex watch, and he said, "How could a monk wear a Rolex watch?" And that was a reporter, so I told the reporter, "It's okay whether I wear it or not, so let me give it to you." So I took it off, since you talked about it, that I was a monk and I shouldn't wear a Rolex watch, so I'm giving you this Rolex watch. And he didn't want it. He didn't dare to want it, and he ran away. That happened in Malaysia. But in my mind, if he had wanted it, I would have given it to him. And Teresa Wei told me then, you know that rock that you wears on your finger, and you said that's a rock, why don't you give it to me? And I said, okay, you can have it. And I was taking it off, and she said, no, no, no. I was just joking. But if at that time she said that, could you please loan it to me to wear, then I would give it to him. It's what's that called? It's ruby. It's not ruby. So if it's a big one, it would be $1 million US. That was a little smaller. It's a kind of. It's a kind of jewels, like pink, bright pink, kind of like ruby. See, I can wear or not, it's up to me. See, I only have a watch to see the time. Oh. This is also a good watch, a rubelite. That was a rubelite. And this is a good watch given by a disciple. Huh? It's Patek Philippe? or Piaget? Cantonese. The Cantonese.
伯爵表，伯爵表普通话伯爵表，而且是满天星。
Or Piaget, studded with diamonds and platinum, and it's made of platinum.
满天星，是弟子送的，中国大陆的。
This was given to me by a disciple, a rich disciple from China.
诸佛威仪，它有佛本身，它有它的威仪。
So the dignified appearance of the Buddhas, all the Buddhas have that impressive bearing and mannerism, bearing, and all of these deities, even the Herukas, the Vajra protectors, like Skanda has a very good look, or Sangarama. Typically speaking, Sangarama only exists in China because the great master Zizhi, in his meditation, saw this Guanzhong Dijun, the emperor Guanzhong, to brought many soldiers in the netherworld to protect. And from then on, Sangarama is a protector of the temples in China. Skanda exists in all Buddhism, but Sangarama exists only in Chinese Buddhism. Not so in the Buddhism in India. So they have their own specific bearing. The sculptors can sculpt the appropriate look and bearing. So when you have attainments in your spiritual cultivation, your posture and bearing will naturally appear. A female colleague had a bad mood, so and changed her line contact mistress. And then the next day, one didn't come, one's absent, 2 sick, and 3 was being beaten. And the reason is because they saw the line of this mistress. So please don't just use any nicknames you want. After fighting with the wife, Zhang walked out of the house. And soon after, it was raining hard, and he got completely wet. And the phone rang, and he looked, and it was the wife. And the wife said, "It's raining hard outside, so just come back." And so he's very touched, but the wife added, "I wish the thunder would strike you to death." Oh, Mani Padme Hum.
非常感谢根本上师宝贵的法语开示。 We are very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teaching. Tomorrow, Sunday at 3 p.m., May 6, His Holiness will be at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington, to preside over Medicine Buddha, Homa Fire Offering Ceremony, and expound on the Vimalakirti Sutra. The Rainbow Temple will open starting at 1 p.m. And for details, please check the website. Now we're inviting any of you who would like to take refuge in His Holiness and follow the spiritual cultivation of True Buddha School. Please come forward to the center of the temple and personally receive the refuge initiation empowerment from His Holiness. If you're not present in person and would like to take refuge, you may send a letter to True Buddha Foundation in Redmond, Washington, and request for a remote initiation. Before you leave tonight, please remember to return your receivers. Please return your receivers before you leave tonight. This ends the English interpretation today. Thank you. 顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊 Home 观想顶礼，回天心善印，2拜诸菩萨，Om Home 观想顶礼，回天心善印，3拜诸护法金刚，Om Home 观想顶礼，回天心善印，4平等一起手。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛加持与会4众弟子。同学会圆满吉祥结束了，感谢根本传承上师的大加持，谢谢大家，阿弥陀佛。网络直播到此结束。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing.